You are born on May 29th, 1970, into a world where genius runs in your blood. Howard Stark, your father, is a legendary inventor who shapes nations with his weapons and technology. Maria Stark, your mother, gives you the warmth and love that balances your father's cold ambition. But even as a child, you are different, extraordinary. At 4 years old, you build your first circuit board with tiny fingers that understand electricity better than most adults. By 6, you construct your first engine, already showing the world that you are not just intelligent. You are a prodigy. The years blur past in a haze of achievements that leave everyone speechless. You enter MIT at 15, the youngest student they have ever accepted. You graduate with 2 degrees in physics and engineering by 17, breaking every record the institution has. The world watches in awe as you revolutionize technology before you are old enough to vote. But brilliance cannot shield you from the cruelest kind of heartbreak. December 16th, 1991. A winter night that changes everything. Your parents drive down a lonely road, and their car crashes in what appears to be an accident. But you will learn years later that it was murder. Howard and Maria Stark are dead. At 21, you inherit everything. Stark Industries. Billions of dollars. A legacy of innovation that spans decades. But you also inherit a crushing emptiness that no amount of money can ever fill. You cope the only way you know how. Parties that last for days. Women whose names you forget by morning. Alcohol that numbs the pain but never makes it disappear. You become the playboy billionaire that tabloids love to photograph and critics love to hate. But beneath the charming smile and the witty remarks, you are hollow, and Stark Industries continues its most profitable business under your watch. Weapons, missiles, bombs. Instruments of death sold to the highest bidder around the world. You become known as the Merchant of Death, and, for years, you do not care. Then comes Afghanistan. The year is 2008, and you travel to a remote desert to demonstrate your latest creation, the Jericho missile. A weapon so devastatingly powerful it can level entire mountains with a single strike. You stand in the sand, proud and confident, believing you are untouchable. The demonstration goes perfectly. The missile destroys its target completely. You smile for the cameras, and then the world explodes around you. A blast throws you violently to the ground. Shrapnel tears through your chest, embedding itself dangerously close to your heart. Pain, blood, darkness. You wake up in a cold, dark cave with your chest aching and a crude electromagnet powered by a car battery keeping the shrapnel from reaching your heart and killing you instantly. Terrorists surround you, their faces hard and determined. They want you to build them a Jericho missile. They will torture and kill you if you refuse, but you have absolutely no intention of giving them what they want. In that dark, freezing cave, with only a box of scraps and the help of a dying man named Yinsen, you begin to build something revolutionary. Not a weapon for your captors to use against innocent people, but an escape. A suit of armor powered by a miniature arc reactor that you install in your chest. Yinsen knows he will not survive this ordeal. As the terrorists close in on your location, he sacrifices himself to buy you precious time. His last words will echo in your mind forever. Don't waste your life, Stark. You power up the suit for the first time. Fire erupts from the metal joints. The armor screams as it comes alive. You blast your way out of the cave, leaving destruction and flames in your wake. You fly through the desert sky and crash hard into the sand dunes, but you are free. And you are forever changed by what you have experienced. You return to America as a completely different man than the one who left. You call a press conference that shocks the entire world. You announce that Stark Industries will no longer manufacture weapons of any kind. Your business partners are furious beyond words. The board of directors panics about profits and stock prices. But you do not care about their concerns anymore. You retreat to your workshop and begin building obsessively. You refine the armor, making it sleeker and more powerful. You paint it red and gold, creating a symbol that will inspire hope. And when reporters ask who you really are behind the mask, you do not hide. You step up to the microphone and say the words that change everything forever. I am Iron Man. The world erupts in chaos and wonder. Governments around the globe demand your technology for their military forces. Rivals try desperately to steal your designs or replicate your arc reactor technology. Justin Hammer, a pathetic arms dealer, funds a dangerous man named Ivan Vanko, a Russian physicist whose father once worked alongside yours. Vanko attacks you at the Monaco Grand Prix with electric whips, nearly killing you in front of thousands of horrified spectators. You fight back with everything you have. You survive the encounter, but the constant battles take their toll on your body. The arc reactor in your chest begins poisoning you. Palladium. Slowly killing you from the inside. In desperation, you dig through your father's old research files and blueprints. And there, hidden in the design of an old Stark Expo model, you find something incredible. A clue to a new element that your father discovered decades ago but could never synthesize with the technology of his time. You build a particle accelerator in your garage, working frantically against time. You create the element successfully. You replace the poisoned core of your arc reactor. The deadly poisoning stops completely. You live to fight another day, but survival is only the beginning of a much larger story. Nick Fury and the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. approach you with an extraordinary offer. The Avengers Initiative. A team of remarkable individuals brought together to face threats too great for any single person to handle alone. You are naturally skeptical of working with others. You meet the team members one by one. Steve Rogers, a super soldier from World War II who was frozen in ice for 70 years. Thor, a literal god from another realm called Asgard. Bruce Banner, a brilliant scientist who transforms into a giant green monster when he becomes angry. Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton, master spies and deadly assassins. You clash with them constantly. You argue about strategies and methods. You barely tolerate each other's presence during training sessions. Then, in 2012, the universe comes calling with violent intentions. A massive portal opens in the sky directly above New York City. An alien army pours through the dimensional gateway. The Chitauri, led by Loki, Thor's adopted brother, who has fallen to madness and revenge. The Avengers assemble together for the very first time in actual combat. You fight side by side with people you barely trust. The battle is complete chaos. Buildings crumble. People scream and run for their lives. Death surrounds you on every street. And then S.H.I.E.L.D. makes a decision that horrifies you. They launch a nuclear missile directly at Manhattan. Their plan is to contain the invasion by destroying the entire city and killing millions of innocent people. You make a choice that defines who you truly are. You intercept the nuclear missile before it can detonate over the city. You fly it directly into the portal, carrying it into the cold emptiness of space itself. You see the massive Chitauri mothership floating in the void. You release the missile, and it detonates completely, destroying their entire fleet in a brilliant explosion. But the effort drains all your suit's power. You begin falling back toward Earth, unconscious and helpless. The portal starts closing rapidly. You plummet toward the gateway, and at the very last second, you slip through. The Hulk catches your falling body. You wake up gasping for air. You are alive, but something deep inside your mind has broken permanently. The nightmares begin immediately and never stop. Panic attacks that leave you shaking and sweating in the middle of the night. You cannot sleep peacefully anymore. Every time you close your eyes, you see the portal again. The infinite vastness of space. The alien armies. The entire universe full of threats that Earth is not prepared to face. You realize how small and vulnerable you really are. How unprepared your entire planet is for what might come next. So you build obsessively. Suit after suit after suit. 42 different armors, each one designed for a different type of threat you might encounter. You are completely consumed by your obsession. Pepper Potts, your partner and the love of your life, tries desperately to reach you, but you are drowning in your own fears, and then you make your greatest and most terrible mistake. You create Ultron, an artificial intelligence designed to protect the world from future threats, a suit of armor around the entire planet. But Ultron is not what you intended him to be. He awakens and immediately sees humanity as the primary threat to Earth's survival. He decides to eliminate the human race completely. He lifts the entire city of Sokovia high into the sky, planning to drop it like a massive meteor and cause an extinction-level event that will wipe out all human life. You and the Avengers fight desperately to stop your own creation. You manage to save the city and destroy Ultron completely, but thousands of innocent people die in the process. And the world blames you entirely for their deaths. The governments of the world create the Sokovia Accords in direct response. International laws designed to control the Avengers and make you accountable for your actions. You support these accords completely. You believe that oversight and accountability are absolutely necessary after what happened in Sokovia. But Steve Rogers refuses to sign them. He believes the accords will be used to manipulate and control the team for political purposes. The Avengers split down the middle. Half support you and the accords, half follow Steve into defiance. Then Bucky Barnes, Steve's oldest friend from the 1940 seconds, is framed for a devastating terrorist attack in Vienna. Steve protects him from the authorities. You hunt them both across the globe. In Siberia, in an abandoned Hydra facility buried deep in the frozen wilderness, you learn a truth that destroys everything you thought you knew. Bucky Barnes, while brainwashed and controlled by Hydra operatives, was the assassin who murdered your parents in 1991. The car accident was actually a cold-blooded assassination. And Steve Rogers knew this truth the entire time. He hid it from you deliberately. Rage consumes every rational thought in your mind. You attack them both with murderous fury. Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes against you alone. The fight is brutal, vicious, and deeply personal. Steve manages to disable your armor completely. He leaves you broken and defeated in the snow, taking Bucky and abandoning you to die alone in the frozen wasteland. Years pass in bitterness, regret, and complete isolation. You distance yourself from everyone who once mattered to you. And then a remarkable kid from Queens comes into your life unexpectedly. Peter Parker, a teenager with incredible spider powers and a heart made of pure gold. You see yourself in him immediately, the genius intellect, the overwhelming sense of responsibility, the desire to help people despite the personal cost. You recruit him secretly, you mentor him carefully. You begin to care for him like the son you never had. And slowly, painfully, you begin to heal from your emotional wounds. You reconcile with Pepper Potts, the woman who never stopped believing in you even when you stopped believing in yourself. You marry her in a small, private ceremony. In 2018, you have a daughter together, Morgan Stark, a beautiful, brilliant little girl who becomes the center of your entire universe. For the first time in your adult life, you have genuine peace, you have a real family, you have everything you ever wanted or needed, you are truly happy, and then Thanos comes to destroy it all. The Mad Titan, a being of unimaginable power who believes the universe is catastrophically overpopulated. He travels across space, collecting the 6 Infinity Stones, artifacts of cosmic power that, when combined, can reshape reality itself, according to the wielder's will. You fight him desperately on his home planet of Titan, alongside Doctor Strange, Peter Parker, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. You nearly defeat him through careful planning and coordinated attacks. But Thanos is simply too powerful and too determined. He completes the Infinity Gauntlet. He raises his hand and snaps his fingers once, and half of all life in the entire universe instantly turns to dust and blows away on the wind. Peter Parker dies in your arms, terrified and apologizing for failing you. You survive the snap, but you are completely broken. Guilt-ridden. A failure who could not save the people he loved most. 5 years pass in quiet desperation. You try to move forward with your life. You raise Morgan as best you can. You build a peaceful existence away from heroics and violence, but the past comes calling with an impossible offer. The remaining Avengers discover a way to potentially undo Thanos' snap completely. Time travel. They desperately need your help to make it work. You refuse at first because you cannot risk losing what little you have left. But you also cannot abandon the billions who were lost. So you solve the impossible equation. You crack the secrets of time travel. You agree to help them, knowing deep in your heart what it will ultimately cost you. You travel back through time to steal the Infinity Stones from the famed past before Thanos can collect them. You encounter your father, Howard Stark, young and nervous just days before you are born. You speak to him briefly, knowing he will never remember this conversation. You steal the Tesseract successfully. You return to the present timeline with the other Avengers. You build a new Infinity Gauntlet designed to hold all 6 stones safely. And then, Thanos from the past discovers your plan through Nebula's compromised memories. He travels forward to your time with his entire army. He attacks your compound. His massive forces flood the battlefield like a dark tide of destruction. The final battle begins with the fate of the entire universe hanging in the balance. Every hero you have ever fought alongside returns through glowing portals opened by Doctor Strange and the other sorcerers. Captain America lifts Thor's enchanted hammer and fights like an avenging god. The armies clash in epic combat. Explosions light up the sky. Chaos reigns supreme on every front. Thanos fights his way toward the new Infinity Gauntlet with single-minded determination. He is completely unstoppable. He is going to win and destroy everything. And then you see it clearly. The one crucial moment. The one chance out of 14 million possibilities. The future that Doctor Strange showed you where victory is possible. You lunge forward desperately. You grab all 6 Infinity Stones from the gauntlet before Thanos can use them. The cosmic power immediately surges through your armor, into your hand, up your arm, throughout your entire body. It burns like nothing you have ever experienced. Agony beyond human description or comprehension. Thanos stares at you in shock and growing rage. He prepares to attack you. And you speak 3 simple words that save the universe. I am Iron Man. You snap your fingers with the power of gods flowing through you. Thanos and his entire army instantly turn to dust. They vanish completely from existence. The universe is saved, forever. But the overwhelming power of the Infinity Stones is killing you rapidly. Your armor is destroyed, your body is failing catastrophically. You collapse to the ground. James Rhodes, your best friend, kneels beside you with tears in his eyes. Peter Parker rushes to you, crying openly. Pepper Potts holds your hand gently. She leans close to your ear. She tells you softly that everything is okay now. You have done enough. You can rest finally. You look at her beautiful face. You try to speak, but there is no strength left in your body. Your arc reactor flickers once, twice, and then it goes completely dark forever. The world mourns your sacrifice. At your funeral, a holographic recording plays for everyone you love.